You look like you're good.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining and finding us here on this Friday, this quarantine Friday, self isolation Friday. Um, as you could see, me and Matt, the MB show, as we would call it, and special guest Connor. So everybody in this. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Jesus. I had our video playing in the background. So, um, everybody in this chat has had access to the NB Show's Twitter account, so that's good. Probably not
Yep.
good for anybody for Google out there with passwords and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So you can find our Twitter at the NB Show. But without further ado, I want to bring in Connor, who is from Chicago. That's Central Time. Sorry for his friends if I threw you guys off, but Connor, welcome back to the show. Welcome. What do you have to say?
It's been a while, starting from the NB show to the Brass Ring Club. That brief little stint, that was fun. Lots changed since then. In college now, a little Division III university called Ruhr University. I'm a junior there playing football, and we just won our conference championship this past year. So,
Oh, congrats.
everything. Thank you. So, yeah, everything's been really awesome these last few years.
Nice, awesome, and unfortunately, with the virus and everything, that has made college athletics so tough to for a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
That's a great job with the conference championship and everything like that.
yeah. Thank you.
So you're welcome. Let's wrap up what happened on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll finish night two. We saw a John Cena and Bray Wyatt match, if you were to call it. I actually talked to Nick about this, and he would call it a segment. Um, so we'll start there. Connor, what did you think of the match? And do you think it's a match, or would you call it a segment as well?
you know, it was interesting. Definitely, different than the Boneyard match we saw the night before with Taker and AJ. But I think they did as well a job as they could have. The storytelling was incredible, showing from Cena's debut to the struggle he had with the fans getting behind him towards the end of the 2010s, late 2000s, early 2010s. Um, I personally wish we saw more of the Fiend. That's the whole point of the Firefly Funhouse, I thought, but overall, I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect going in. Like in the beginning, when they were in the Firefly, when Cena was in the Firefly Funhouse in the beginning, I'm like, either this can go one or two ways, either really bad, or this is going to be like the best thing they're ever going to do. And it was on the lather there, almost up there with the Boneyard match. Like you said, I like the callbacks with Cena, just throwing out the whole history. So if you were a wrestling fan from either when Cena started or all the way back to the NWO and like Saturday Night main event, I think you got something for you, and it was pretty cool. And I still can't believe I popped when when the Vince McMahon puppet said this is some good shit. Like I lost my mind. I was like, I can't believe that aired because the PG stuff and all that. So I lost my mind, but it was pretty cool. I think this is a better idea than if this was an actual match that they taped. Because I don't know how well it would have been between the two. This was another well-produced segment from the weekend, and even this past Wednesday, if anybody watched NXT. But I love this. I know this was mixed. You got mixed reception from people. but I think for the most part, most people liked it, and I enjoyed it. It was different, and I'm glad they thought outside the box for this one.
Yeah, I think you made a good point, Matt, about with them saying that this is such good shit. I was very surprised too. I thought that was a good pop um, with that, and that was very smart writing from the creative team, which that that isn't said enough
Yeah.
at all.
Vince saw that and probably laughed his ass off
Yeah,
because that had to go through him, and he probably enjoyed the hell out of that.
and I think, like you guys said, I think if they just had like a regular match like we've seen, it wouldn't have been nearly as exciting, or we wouldn't have had as many eyes on it, or nobody would have been talking about it if they would have just went that way.
Yeah.
Um, and what else did we see that night? Trying to draw a blank here. Um, what else did you take away from night two, guys? That you thought was great, Connor?
I enjoyed the tag team match, the Raw tag team with the Street Profits and Austin Theory and Needle Guards. I thought all four of them put on a fantastic match. They weren't given much time coming off the Edge Randy Orton match, so I think with the time they got, I thought they did a pretty nice job.
Yeah. It was a good little match. I mean, at least I don't think it was anything special, but for what it was, I think it was good. But you mentioned the last man standing match. What did you think of that? Because the big complaint I heard from a lot of people was that it went too long.
Yeah, I totally agree. 43 minutes is way too long, regardless of what kind of match it is. I know that Edge's first match back, tried to put as much into it as possible, but it was hard to keep me drawn in going on 40 plus minutes. But for this being his first match back, I thought he did a really nice job. I didn't think about it when they did the whole the Chris Benoit spot with the cable. At the time, I didn't think anything of it, but other than that, I thought it was a nice match, just a little too long.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I still enjoyed it. For what it was. But if they cut it down maybe 10 minutes, I think it would have been good. Do you guys happen to see NXT this past Wednesday, the Gargano Ciampa fight?
I did.
Yeah. So I feel like that kind of match and that how they shot that was, I think, what Edge and Orton should have been. And that type of no commentary, let them tell the story. Because I thought that whole production Wednesday was fantastic. And I think there was people complaining that there were commercial breaks. But I think because it took the last hour, I think you needed those commercial breaks to interrupt everything and give you a break, so it's not 60 minutes of them just fighting, but instead probably 42, the length of the last man standing match. But to me, it didn't feel that bad compared to the last man standing match. So I don't know. That's just
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think you're right, Matt. I think that they kind of fine-tuned it, and they probably did a better job with NXT with how they produced it.
Because I feel like in the last man standing match, looking back on it, I think there was a lot of dead spots, if you will. But I feel like with NXT's match, I think it was more always constant, always changing, and it was entertaining because you can hear them talk more so than Edge and Orton, I think.
Yeah. So, real quick to wrap the Edge and Orton up, who do you guys want to see Edge face? Or let's just say everything does return to some normalcy and we can have crowds back and everything like that. Who on the roster now would you like to see Edge face, Connor?
I think him and Rollins have some unfinished business. I think Rollins would definitely be a great one. Aleister Black would be fun to see. Tommaso Ciampa would be awesome. So just a couple of guys, old Team Dream, another guy that I think they could put on a entertaining match.
Yeah, you said Rollins. That was the first person I thought of. I think that would be good because you already have that face heel dynamic, regardless of what you think of Rollins right now. But I think there would be just a great match between the two. Yeah, off the top of my head, Rollins. I'm trying to think of anybody else like on the main roster, or the Raw roster if he stays on Raw. I can't think of anybody. I'm just gonna go with Rollins right now.
Yeah, I think that those two would definitely make some magic. Just with how athletic both of them are. Hopefully, we could see something like that in SummerSlam. Now, let's kind of transition to Raw, and then we'll talk about SmackDown for a little bit. So we'll just skip to the end of Raw because let's just call a spade a spade. They're putting on shows in the Performance Center with no crowd, so everything is going to be a little bit just harder to watch and understand and enjoy. But we'll talk about the end where Big Show finished off Raw in 2020. Connor, what do you think whenever you saw Big Show?
My heart dropped. I honestly, for a second, I thought he was going to beat Drew McIntyre and win the WWE Championship. I thought that's something that's a Vince McMahon type idea. We've seen that in the past where champions win their championships, the next day they lose it. So I see why they did it, to make McIntyre look like a dominating champ, saying that it was 20 minutes after WrestleMania went off air, had time to go back, get his title plates on there and come out for an interview. But I thought he was going to lose, for being all honesty.
I did get scared. I honestly did get scared watching it. And I was like, oh no, don't do this. But in the back of my head, I was like, I don't think they would. But I was unsure. I get why they did that, but we're at this point, or at least everybody's at this point, that when a Big Show comes out, especially in this situation, it's just like, oh damn, why? You wish it was somebody like you kind of wish it was somebody like a surprise, but at the same time, it's not a regular show. It's not a regular show because obviously there's nobody in the audience, and with uncertainty moving forward, you don't want to. You can't continue this, and plus, you don't want a person coming up to be like, not buried because that gets thrown around too much. Just lose any momentum when they come up. So I get why. I guess it's the safe choice, and like you said, it makes Drew look stronger as a champion, more believable, because you beat Lesnar and you beat Big Show, and because Big Show's nothing to laugh at in terms of size and strength, so it made sense. I love how it was breaking news when we all knew it was pre-taped, and if it was breaking news, why couldn't you say that earlier in the day or after WrestleMania on Sunday? But
right,
that's neither here nor there. That's the right phrase. I couldn't spit it out.
And so we mentioned NXT, and there's another show that runs on Wednesdays. That's on a different network that is not affiliated at all with WWE. That we haven't had much time to talk about because it is WrestleMania season, or was WrestleMania season. That's AEW. Connor, I know that you had said that you did some homework for AEW and you wanted to talk about it. So let's give your synopsis of what you thought of the show and what you think AEW has done, for wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. Opened up with Lance Archer versus, I can't think of the guy's name. Quick couple-minute match made the guy look like a monster like he is. Pretty excited to really go on from there with him and Jake Roberts. Next was Britt Baker and Hiroku Kushida, so I believe her name is. Hard hitting match. Baker got busted open pretty bad. Her nose was all bloody towards the last end of the match. Nice match there, made both ladies look strong. What I really liked was the video package showing Jon Moxley and Jake Hager. Next week they're fighting for the AEW World Championship in a no holds barred match. They did a nice job of looking over Hager as an MMA fighter, and Moxley just gives shits, honestly. These two guys will go out there next week. They're just going to put on a show. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be violent. It's going to be a sight to see. And then the AEW TNT Championship match with Shawn Spears and Cody was a nice little match. I didn't see the end of it, so I don't know who won, honestly. But from what I saw, it was pretty good. It kind of ran out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I like how you glossed over that tag match between
the Kenny Omega and Nakazawa versus the Best Friends. I thought it was an entertaining match and nice little funny idea. I love Orange Cassidy. I think he's super entertaining, whether you like him or not. He's a star in my book.
I agree.
Oh, I agree. The Cubs and the Pirates, I disagree with you on that. I can't stand him for whatever reason.
You cannot stand Orange Cassidy freshly squeezed.
No, I think I've been listening to Jim Cornette too much. But I don't know. That's just
there
me.
Is, and that's fine. That's what's great about wrestling is that not everybody to me and Connor, he's a face, and to you, he's a heel. He's getting some type of reaction. But I just think it's an incredible athletic feat whenever he does any spot with his hands in his pocket. That's just me. That's insane to do that. As a failed wrestler, that is crazy. So then, of course, we have SmackDown tonight from the Performance Center. But I kind of wanted to focus on some moving around right now. The Revival, for example, they did get their release, and I went and tweeted out on the show's Twitter account. What did you guys think about that? A lot of people. One person, Mike Bird, said, "Who cares?" Another person, El Gacho, said, "About time," even though they truly politic their way out the door. Ian Nolan thinks it's a good time to release them with 90 Day because you won't be able to work anyway. And then Bruce believes that they were thought to be leaving months ago but seem to get a push instead, so no surprise here. So where do you think these guys will land on their feet? Do you think they'll go into AEW or to Power or New Japan? Will they go into another company together, or do you think they're singles? I'll start with you, Connor.
It's got to be AEW. It has to be. There's so much history between them and the Young Bucks that it's almost inevitable if they go to AEW. I don't know if it's right away, but I think at some point in time they're going to AEW. They'll have that match and they're going to put on a show. The Revival, I thought, was the best tag team out of NXT. Their matches with American Alpha, DIY were some of the greatest tag matches I've ever seen. Main roster, they weren't used the way I would have liked them to be used. So hopefully with this release, they get to go do what they can do, be used more correctly.
Yeah, I think AEW probably has already contacted them and probably given them a big offer, because I think AEW can use. Well, it depends because it's hard to say because the show is not regular right now with everything going on. But I think a new tag team, a fresh tag team like the Revival, will be great because they can go and face the Young Bucks. I mean, there's history there, as fans know, like social media. So that would be fun to see. So I think they go to AEW.
And I think that AEW has done pretty well with with not taking every single scrap that WWE, throws their way as far as workers are concerned. And I don't think bringing them on will push them over the limit. But you do not want to have an Impact TNA type situation where one week you see them on WWE programming and they're bad, they're losing every match, and then the next week you turn on and they're TNT. I think there's a really fine line when it comes to that. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, maybe not AW right away. Maybe go to Ring of Honor, go to NWA. If you can, go to New Japan. But I think within the year they will be in AEW. They will face the Young Bucks. And I can honestly say within the next year or so they will be the AEW World Tag Team Champions.
Oh, you heard it here first.
I mean,
all right,
I can see that.
Keep that safe. There we go. Matt, you can see that too.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go in there soon and within the year. Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not.
Yeah. That would be something. So in memoriam, let's all throw an F in the chat for the XFL. We lost another football league today.
Can we have a moment of silence for the XFL?
Just
Not even
a quick 10-second moment of silence.
Yes, that sounds.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
I think they technically made it longer than the AAF. I think
Yes.
if we're going by weeks.
But
so that's an accomplishment.
But not longer than the first time.
Yeah.
No.
Damn coronavirus.
Yeah. The NB Show's Twitter account had said that if we were in the 90s right now, there would be a coronavirus character. You guys think that would you guys have been? You think we would have seen that?
I would have put it past Vince.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, somebody would have done it in some form or fashion.
Yeah. So going forward with WWE, everything being taped and everything like that. What are you guys hoping to see? Because we don't know anything about Money in the Bank. I've been told that. I've read that obviously that's not happening, and that there's not really plans to hold special events and pay-per-views and things like that. As far as like gimmicks like that. So we brought this up last week with Patrick, Connor. But do you think that you have high hopes in SummerSlam, and do you agree that maybe they should hold this outside at like a football stadium or a baseball stadium, like the Royal Rumble?
I don't see why not. They've had great success with Royal Rumble and WrestleMania being at places like MetLife, like Minute Maid Park in Houston. But if I'm WWE right now, just take a break. This virus only gets worse with people in one spot together. Look at baseball, look at football, look at basketball, hockey. They've all postponed their sports so everyone can get better. I get that there's not much else for entertainment on right now, but just do video packages, do best of shows. I think if you really want to get over this, I think they need to take a break.
You bring up a good point that I actually we'll focus on this to wrap the show up. But you're right. Daniel Bryan is taking a leave of absence. There's a heck of a lot of superstars and you can mail it in as well, so to speak, if you're out there working with your friend, your colleague in a empty performance center. So whenever this all passes, for the first time ever, we're going to have one of the most athletically stacked roster that the WWE has. Maybe not quite on the mic or merchandise wise, but everybody on that roster is athletic, and they're all going to be fresh. So we should see a nice boom of just wrestling. I think, whenever things do return to some normalcy. Now, with AEW, there was one hiccup. They lost by 1,000 viewers, apparently, to NXT, but they had a heck of a run there for X amount of weeks in a row. Where do you guys see this going? Do you see, and let's pretend that everything does come back to normal here in the next few months and everything is running fluent. Do you see AEW moving to Monday nights? Or do you see them sticking on Wednesdays and just sort of cornering that market?
I think it's also going to stay on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, you're competing with a much smaller WWE show. Albeit it's probably the best WWE show on TV right now. But if you go against Raw, you're not going to win. You know, there's only one thing that's ever beaten Raw, and that's Monday Night Football. But you know, Raw is just so much history behind it that you will never beat them. You know, TNA tried to do it and they couldn't do it. So stick with Wednesdays, keep beating NXT by a couple 100,000, and you know maybe move to Fridays to with SmackDown. But no, for now, stick with Wednesdays.
Yeah. With either, I think Wednesday is the perfect night for them. Because you go to Monday or Friday. Well, Friday is always a bad day because it's a weekend and people go out normally. But Raw has, that's just around number 2 million viewers, 2.5, and I don't know if NXT will. Not NXT, AEW. AEW is not going to pull that many people away. I mean, you might get a bump because I don't know, but there's Monday Night Football. There's so much stuff that happens on Mondays. You have the national championship games and stuff like that happen. Wednesday I think is a perfect fit because you're only pulling in on average 800,000, give or take, and you're beating NXT by a little bit, and you know it goes back and forth, closing the gap, extending the gap, if you will. And I think it's just it's perfect for them because you can say we're beating NXT, we're beating WWE, and they already got a new extension on a contract. Because even though it's 800,000 or whatever for TNT, I don't know the rest of the shows they put out, but I guess that's a good rating. I mean, obviously people in the higher ups like it, so
yeah,
keep doing what you're doing. I don't see why you should change it right now.
Right. Yeah. So it's 8 o'clock. SmackDown has started on Fox at the Performance Center. So we're about to wrap up here. But Connor, thank you again for coming on and talking. It stinks that the situation that we're in right now, and that there's not a heck of a lot to talk about that is positive. It's a lot of negative overtones. Or is it undertones? I think it's undertone.
Whatever, something tone.
Yeah, but so I personally, I hate this. I hate this time where we're not allowed to, play hockey or do anything fun. So it's nice to still get together and talk about wrestling and stuff like that, even though it's the product that it is. Yeah, no, for sure. So tell everybody where they can find you on social media and what plans you have with everything.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ConnorAugie10, Instagram at ConnorAugie10. Thank you guys for having me on. Right now we should be watching baseball, but instead we're watching wrestling in an empty arena with Braun Strowman as Universal Champion. So
I like it. I like Strowman. It's about time he won. Damn it! About time he won. I don't care. I don't care the situation. He got it off Goldberg. I'm happy. That's just me. Now do something with it.
That's a good thing that you brought up baseball, because we can end on this. Matt and myself being from Pittsburgh, Matt doing stuff at PNC Park. thank God we don't have to listen to that awful Cubs song that they play at Wrigley Field after they win. Oh my goodness.
Well, you hear 100 times a year, so
Oh,
That was a good one. That was a good
that
one.
was a good
I
one.
appreciate that.
Yeah, so we can end this like we have everyone since then, Matt, with a Pirates rib, because that's what they deserve.
I can't say anything. I worked for them.
That's fair. All right. Yeah, I don't want to put you in that situation. Yeah, Pirates looking great. Gerard Dice and center.
I'm keeping up with everybody like on Twitter, throwing out the virtual games from like NBA and the NBA, MLB the Show. Like, I guess we're doing okay. I don't know.
Well, until next week, we don't have a guest at this time so far, so it could just be me and Matt just talking wrestling, talking everything else going on. Hopefully everybody is maintaining good social distancing and self-isolation. It's just crazy to me how these words have so quickly become a part of our vocabulary.
Yep.
And it's everything. So you guys stay safe out there. Connor, good luck with school and everything. It sucks that, about the football season and stuff, and
But he's a champ.
and things like that. Yeah. But thank you guys for watching and enjoy SmackDown.